Hi and welcome to this lesson. We're quickly going to go over the setup you're going to need to follow along with this course, because your setup is going to be slightly different depending which platform you're using. For Windows users, unfortunately, there isn't an easy way to get Ansible installed on a Windows machine. There are ways of doing it, but they're not particularly great. The best approach is to set up a Linux VM and go ahead and install Visual Studio Code. If you're using Linux, there'll be instructions for how to install it on that platform. And that's where, if you're using a VM, you'll follow along with that. And thirdly, for us Mac users, we can install Ansible on our local machines. Personally, that's the approach I'm going to be using throughout this course. I'm going to be using it on my Mac. And the reason why is because when running VMs, it can interfere with the recording software, and I don't want there to be any loss of quality for you. So regardless which way we set it up, what we're going to have is our Ansible master machine. And again, if you're on Windows, this will be your Ubuntu VM. If you're on Linux, this could be your local machine. And again, if you're on Mac, same again, this will be your local machine. Now you've got two options here, and this is going to be the approach I'm going to be using throughout this course. What we're going to do is set up and point to AWS, and we're going to set up one EC2 instance. Now we are going to configure this so that we can connect using a username and password, and we'll be using SSH to connect. Now don't worry about this because Ansible is going to take care of connecting to this. And the reason for AWS is the following. Let's say later on in the course, you want to test deploying against multiple nodes. Well, here it's very easy to scale up and it's going to be consistent. If something goes wrong, it's very easy to tear it down. Alternatively, what you could do is set up a VM. Now this could be something like Ubuntu server or CentOS server. And again, like we're connecting here with SSH, you'll be doing the same, but connecting to the VM. And again, the reason I really want to use AWS is because rather than running it locally on my machine and having a VM running, I can have it running in the cloud. And especially with AWS free tier, there should be zero or little cost involved. And again, it's a short course, so you'll be able to power through this without having to keep the instances up for ages. And also, it gives us that option to go ahead and scale up should we want to. There will be parts in this course where it'll be quite good to follow along and scale up with more nodes. So if your machine can handle VMs, go ahead with that. But if you can't, or you prefer not to, I'm going to be using the AWS approach. So what we'll do in the next lesson, if you're using Windows, I'm going to show you how to set up VirtualBox. But in the next video, after that, I'm going to show you the installation instructions for using Linux. So if you're coming from the VM approach or Linux, you'll follow that. And then for us Mac users, what I'll do is I'll show you how to install Ansible. With that said and done, I look forward to seeing you in the next lesson.